Well, for more than on the ramifications of Donald Trump's victory, we now want to bring in General Michael Hayden, the former director of the CIA and NSA. And I know, General, we do appreciate the time. You were not a supporter of Donald Trump, specifically his various positions in foreign policy matters gave you pause. What then to make of President-elect Donald Trump?
Well, obviously you accept the American constitutional process and the will of the American people. But now what has to happen, Josh and Alex, is a very serious conversation. I would characterize Mr. Trump's campaign as expressing anger, a fair number of untruths, and a fair amount of scapegoating. And now that campaign, that atmosphere, has to have an interaction with the community. That's my old community, the intelligence community, that is dispassionate, fact-based, world as it is, and inductive. We need to have that conversation to help shape this, what I believe to be flawed thinking, or we're going to have a very, very unhappy 4 years.
General, the Obama administration, to a certain degree, continued and built upon the intelligence infrastructure of the Bush administration. Is it your expectation that a Trump administration will build upon or see a departure from the intelligence infrastructure already in place?
Alex, great question. And they've done what my Army buddies call the big hand, little map promise, which is we're gonna spend a lot more money on defense. Now, math is math. I don't know how much more money there is, but they've not talked about what specifically inside defense they intend to bless. Big Navy, big Army, big Air Force, big intelligence, surveillance, reconnaissance. I just don't know. You know, look, I'm looking at just a few public statements, but candidate Trump, before he became president-elect, expressed a great deal of distrust of the American intelligence community. And then, during the debate, he dismisses out of hand a high-confidence judgment from the intelligence community that the Russians were indeed doing all this email stuff. So this is going to be a fascinating briefing this morning when he gets his first version of the president's daily brief.
And, General, to that end, it was pointed out often throughout the election cycle that his positions seem to mirror those that would favor Russia. We've already heard Vladimir Putin come out and weigh in, agreeing with Donald Trump, who said, wouldn't it be great if we could work with Russia, in part to defeat ISIS? But just given, if only, the Russian position in support of Syrian President Bashar al-Assad, how can this possibly come to pass?
Josh, look, everyone believes that a healthier relationship with the Russian Federation would be a good thing for Russia, America, Europe, and the globe. But I've never heard any sense of conditionality coming out of the Trump campaign. We can be better friends with Russia if there have been no demands. And Russian behavior, frankly, for the last several years has just been awful, in our face. Crimea, which they did occupy. The Donbass, where the Red Army still continues to fight. The intervention in Syria, where they are not fighting ISIS, as Mr. Trump said they were, but where they are bucking up the Assad regime, which is the proximate cause of ISIS having energy. And so, happy to talk, happy to see where there are common views, but there are some things that are just unacceptable, and I've not heard that from Mr. Trump. And in fact, he seems to have gone out of his way either not to say it or to deny that it was true.
General, as an intelligence man, I have to ask you, there's a lot of talk about Comey, WikiLeaks, how much those may have changed the results of the election yesterday night. What's your assessment of that?
Yeah, we were the victim of a Russian Federation covert and not so covert influence campaign. I know what that looks like. Our agencies may have done something like that in the past. This was done at scale, and I think it was still done to affect our heads, to erode the political process. I don't think Putin's at all unhappy with the outcome of the election, but that may have been an extra cherry on top. What he really wanted to do was to delegitimize us so that he could point to that when we say things about his truly delegitimate political process in the Russian Federation.
General Michael Hayden, as always, your insight is very much appreciated. We thank you for your time today.
Thank you.